In Creo Parametric, you can define the manufacturing model for a sand casting. In this video, part 4 of the series, we are going to finish everything up. We're going to define a parting surface. We're going to cut out the reference part. We are going to create volumes for the cavity and the core, then create parts for the cavity and the core, and create a part for the casting result, then perform a die opening analysis. Let's jump into it. First step, I need to create a parting surface. Let me go to my datum display and turn on my datum plane visibility. I'm going to create a flat surface for my parting surface using the fill command. I'll click on it, and then I need to define a sketch. I'll use the datum plane called main parting plane, and then hit the sketch button. Let me turn off my plane display. I don't think I need it for a while. And the easy way to create my fill surface is by just using the edges of the workpiece. I will use the project command, and when I click on it, I get this nice little interface that was added in Creo Parametric 9.0. If you are using Creo 8 or earlier, well, you are probably familiar with how to use the project command. I will select an edge from the model. Then if I hold down the shift key and move my mouse over the flat surface, it'll grab the loop of edges around there. I will hit the check mark out of the little ribbon interface. You can see that my closed loop is shaded. Let's hit the check mark. And then for the properties, I'm going to rename this. Let's call this my parting surface. Can't spell today. And then hit the check mark. And so there we have our surface created. The next step is that I'm going to end up essentially creating the cavity by using a command called ref part cutout. So when I click on ref part cutout, it opens up the ribbon. It automatically selected the body from the workpiece. Now I need to define the reference parts to be cut out. There's this nice little checkbox here for include all, and it automatically figures out, hey, we have a reference part that we made way back in part 1 of the video. Then we have our sand core that we created in part 2 of the series. Everything looks great. Let's hit the, let's go to the properties, and let's leave it the same. I really don't care about the name of that feature. Okay, so now that we've done the reference part cutout, I want to show you a command. Let me go to the View tab. There's this command for cast display, and this you can use for controlling the visibility of your components and your different volumes. There's this blank and unblank command. I really don't use blank and unblank from here, but I just want to show you that if you change the filter from component to volume, right now we don't have any volumes in the model. There's nothing that we can fill in. Let me cancel out of here, and I'm going to hide the different components. Let's hide our reference part. Let's hide our workpiece, and I will hide the core of the model. Then to show you what we have, I'll go to the section command, and I'm going to create a cross section in the Z direction. Yep, let's try that. That is good. It automatically created a default coordinate system. Let me rename this to cross-section A and hit the check mark for a moment. I'm going to hide that parting surface that I created. So this is what I have in my model right now. If I edit the definition of my cross-section, I can drag it, and you can see that essentially we just have some surfaces in the part model here. Let me cancel out. Yes, I want to cancel, and I will click on the cross section in order to disable it. Okay, so at this point, I am ready to split this up into my cavity and my core. If I go to the cast tab and then go to the die volume drop-down command, hey, here we have the volume split command. I will choose that. And for the mold volume, I will select the reference part cutout volume. For the splitting surface, let me select the parting surface and show it, and then I can select it in the graphics area. Now I will go to the Islands tab, and so we have Island 1 to Island 2, and for the first volume, I'm going to name this my cavity, And the second one, I'm going to name this the core. And right now, if I try to hit the check mark, well, the check mark is unavailable. And this next step, hey, I'm just going to be honest. I don't know why I need to do this, but if I turn off Island 2, then we get the preview of the Island 1 and the check mark is available. So again, for some reason, unchecking that enables me to perform my volume split. Let's take a look at what we have for volumes now. I'm going to take the parting surface again and hide it. Let's select our core and hide it. And now when I rotate the model, you can see the volume that is generated for the cavity. Let me select the cavity and hide it and go to the core and show it and then rotate the model. So this is what the core is going to look like. And so now that I have these, once again, these are just volumes. If I go to my cross section and activate it, you can see that there's no inner material here. So let's bring back this one and let's deactivate our cross section. I need to create some solid parts from these different volumes. And the way that we do that is with the cavity insert command. I will click on it, and here we have the cavity and the core. You can select all if you want to make them. But before I create the parts, I'm going to expand the little advanced area here, and you can specify what you want to use as a default template for these models. I will select all, and then I have the icon for the open button underneath copy from, and it shows all the different templates that I have set up on my computer. I like my metric model based definition start part. Let me select that one. And also in here, I'm going to use the deselect all. You can also change the name of the part that's going to be created. So I'm going to call this my valve body cavity and hit the enter key. Let's do the same thing for the core. I'm going to add in valve body underscore, hit the enter key. So those will be the names of the parts that are created. So that looks great. I will hit the OK button. And so the two parts were made. Let me select my different volumes and hide them. By the way, you can also, like I showed earlier, if I go to the View tab and then go to Cast Display and then Volumes, here we have our different volumes. And back in the day, for some reason, you had to use this and choose blank so that you didn't see them. If I go to the Unblank tab, this is where I can then make them visible again. But anyhow, let me hit the OK button out of there and go back to the Cast tab. And I'm going to make my sand core visible for reasons that you will see in a moment. The next part that I'm going to create in here is the result of the casting. So I will click on the create cast result. This just gives me a field to enter the name of the part. So I'm going to call this my valve body cast result and hit the enter key. You can define a common name. I'm just going to hit the enter key once again. And so now there is a part for the cast result. And if I click on the open icon, hey, you can see it in its own separate window. So it's essentially the volume that got filled in plus the volume of material that ends up going into the sprue and the runner as well. Let me hop back over to my manufacturing model. And the last thing that I'm going to do is create a die opening analysis so I can see these different parts. Let's select die opening, and then I'm going to define a step. Yes, this uses the old school menu manager. It has not been updated to the modern interface. Let's define a move, and the first thing that it's asking me for is to select a part or parts for the first move. So I will select the top part and then click the OK button. Then in the message area, it is prompting me to select a direction to explode this. I'll use this flat surface. I'm going to use a value of 400. So that's good. Let me hit the done key. And there you can see the first component pulled up. Let me define another step and define a move. And I will select this part, click the OK button. And for the direction, I'm going to query select to the bottom surface. I always like using surfaces as opposed to edges. I'll enter 800 for that one and then hit done. And you can see that one separated. And let's do one more step, one more move. And I'm going to grab the sand core and click the OK button. And I'll use the same bottom surface as the direction reference. I'll use a value of 400 in that direction and then hit the done key. Yeah, I could have moved it out sideways, but I like everything to be showing up vertical in here. And so that way we can see our core and our cavity and our sand core and the cast result. So that all looks great. Let me hit the done return button, which will close everything back up. And since your core and cavity are just parts, you can select them and open them up in their own separate window, and we can see the nicely colored surfaces inside of there. So there you have it. That is how you can create a sand casting manufacturing model in Creo Parametric.